Hey my lovelies, it's Heather here. I just woke up, just got done walking my dog, still got my damn jacket on, my damn boots are still fucking wet from the rain and got mud and shit all stuck to them. Not shit, but still mud and grass and shit. But anyways, I'm just shooting a real quick video because I'm really irritated and then not, because it's not even funny anymore. It's just a bunch of bullshit. But somebody has thrown a goddamn whiskey bottle or some type of fucking bottle literally right out across from my damn, straight, if you walk out my fucking front door and you walk straight towards the fucking road and the little, median area or whatever where the fucking grass is supposed to be, but it's just a pile of dirt right now or what the hell ever. There's a bottle that's right there that somebody just set out there sometime within the past 24 hours, but more than likely sometime more recent than the last 24 hours. Sometime probably while I was asleep, or maybe while I was awake before I went to sleep, because I've only been asleep for 4 fucking hours, because my damn nerves is so shot about shit and everything. But that's all that's going to be on this damn video. Because I got stuff. Shit, why am I taking my jacket off? I still gotta go check about the car. But, check about borrowing the car. But, yeah. This is my life. Whether it's this ex-neighbor that has a problem with me, whether it's something dealing with the landlord, whether it's something dealing with the maintenance people, or whether it's just coincidence again. Because if you see, I made a video about how there was a beer can that somebody placed upon my trash bag. And about how, and see, that's the thing too, this neighbor that used to live here, she got mad and irritated because her husband's a drunk and she's a drunk pretty much, and she wants to act like she don't drink. The landlord has even, talked about it or whatever. So have the maintenance people. The maintenance people told me that, as a matter of fact, supposedly, not as a matter of fact, because I don't know if they're lying or not, but supposedly the reason that they decided to not be friends with them no more, because they used to be childhood friends with these people, is because they's over drinking or whatever and stuff or whatever, or maybe this was within them trying to be nice to them again or something, but they's over drinking a few beers and having a good time or whatever, and the guy got so drunk, the husband did or whatever, that he else threatened to pull a gun out on him, or he pulled a gun out on him and told him to get the fuck out of his house. That's their story. That's what I was told. Whether it's true or not, I have no fucking clue. And that's the thing too. I even called the cops out because there was some fucking drinks that was out at the corner of my apartment, because I was fed up with their shit. This is the same people that set off fucking firecrackers behind my little 11-year-old daughter walking her dogs. They're 15 foot behind her and they set off firecrackers and laugh about it. My baby comes in talking about, how her arm's sore, because the dog jerked her arm because it scared the dog. And then I went out there and walked the other dog, well, the other 2 dogs, and I'll be damned, they set a fucking firecracker off while I was out there walking the damn dogs too. And I guarantee you, if my daughter would came in with some type of injury, and then sitting here, and if you've ever seen my videos before, I talk about how my kid might have a cartilage disease. I guarantee you, if my baby would have come in and been like, "Mama, my wrist is broke. Mama, my arm is broke," or screaming or crying or something, I would be in fucking prison right now. I goddamn guarantee it. Because I fucking had it with people's shit, and ain't nobody gonna fuck up my kid or mess with her. Ain't nobody going to. If they do, it's going to be a death sentence. But anyways, so I just woke up. I'm really pissed off about finding that out there, because it just shows the pettiness of the shit, of the mess that I'm in. And that's the reason I don't want to tell the landlord that I'm leaving. I was actually sitting here and I was like, it'll be 10 days or 11 days or 12, something like that. It'll be over a week if I tell her right now if I am leaving, if I'm even leaving, because I'm not even 100% certain what the fuck I'm doing. All I know is I don't have the money to pay rent right now. I might have the money to pay rent, but then past that, I'm not going to have the money for the power bill. And past that, I'm not going to have the money for the next month. And so I'm sitting here and I'm just like, what should I do? Well, maybe I should do this. And then my fucking grandmother. Oh my fucking God. I'm trying to not I'm trying to not be mad at her when I called her yesterday. I'm trying so fucking hard to not be mad at her. I'm trying so hard. I'm trying. Oh my god, I'm trying. Ah! But anyways, so I call her and I talk to her. Actually, it wasn't yesterday. It was this morning before I went to sleep. I call and I talk to her and I'm like, hey, and I'm wanting to tell her my side of things. But this woman is so know-it-all. You can't tell her your side of things. She's got to tell you her side of things before you can even get anything out the fucking way. And so she's like, oh, I talked to so-and-so about this. Oh, I talked to so-and-so about that. What about boarding your animals? If I pay to board your animals, like, stop being so goddamn indecisive, okay? Stop being so goddamn indecisive. I told you, I'm probably going to move down there. You fucking said to me, you're like, okay, well, the dogs will have to be outside. The pets will have to be outside. What are you going to do with the pets? I mean, this is literally how sporadic. There's no foundation for anything. Oh, well, the pets will have to go outside. What are you going to do with the pets? The pets will have to go outside. So what are you going to do with them? What are you going to do with the pets? You just fucking told me. Did you hear yourself? You just fucking told me. And when you said that, I said, okay. I said, you got this. I can fence it off. If not that, I can tie them to a tree, and this and that. And the thing is I can tie them to a tree with a long enough chain that they can actually still get up on the back porch for shelter and everything. So, and yeah. And I'm like, and it'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Stop worrying about it. And that's her thing, is she worries about every goddamn thing up under the sun, moon, and stars. She worries about it. But she worries about it in such a negative, such a pessimistic sense, such a just overbearing worry, and has no faith in anybody and has no belief in anybody and only thinks that she's the one that can do things good or something. She don't trust nobody with nothing. And until you have to like be the fuck away from her, hide in a little secret box, and for instance blow your nose and be like, hey, look at me, I blowed my nose right, for her to be like, oh yeah, I guess you did. And that's all you get from her. But, like, if you're sitting there, and your nose is dripping or something, she's like, okay, here's how you're going to blow your nose. Here's some tissue paper. You're going to place it to your face. You're going to blow your nose, and you're going to make sure to get all, the congestion out and all this. And if you need to cough in the middle of it, then you can cough, and you spit in the trash can or you spit in the toilet and this and that. And then, you make sure your nose is clean, and everything. I mean, like, she's that. But anyways, so somebody, I feel like, may be wrong, has planted a fucking bottle out across, literally straight the fuck across from my door on the other side of the parking area. And I called the cops out months ago when the neighbor was still living here because it was after. It was right after they moved out, that's right. I found, or was it? Fuck, I can't remember. But it's when shit was going missing from my house, and it was little shit, and it was food, and it was utensils and stuff like that. And I even had a discussion with the landlord about that on my phone. And I just blatantly was like, hey, stuff is going missing from my house, and the only people that I know that's around here that has access to the keys on a regular basis is your sister, your mom, and anybody that enters into your mom's house, because your mom is an older woman, and the people that you've let show the trailers and this and that, because she's let people show the properties for her. And one of the people that she let show the properties for her right before they fucking left, one of their last jobs was to show the property here or what the hell ever. And so they had access to all the keys. And then I got locked out after they moved out of my fucking apartment because I was in love, and I darted across to my old fucking job to see this girl EJ that I'd fell in love with. And so I locked myself out of the apartment because I was in a hurry because she was going on her lunch and I wanted to be there. And I locked myself out of my damn apartment, and then I was trying to get back in, and guess what? My key ain't on there no more. But anyway, so I called the cops out, and they're talking to me like I'm stupid, and they're like, well, hey, ain't there a store here? Don't they sell alcoholic beverages? And I'm like, yeah, and they're like, well, you think somebody just drank those alcoholic beverages and just threw them out here? Yeah, maybe, possibly, but concluding that, the neighbor has a problem with drinking, has a problem with me, and I don't even know why, other than I talk about her. And I only talk about her when she puts her shit in my fucking business. I haven't even gave out her fucking first name. If I wanted to be a dickhead, I could do that, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want to be a dickhead. And I don't want to give out anybody's first name, but I've slipped up in a few fucking videos because I'm so goddamn passionate talking about Adam and talking about Casey and talking about, and obviously I'm going to talk about my daughter, Ava, like, and oh God, I gave out the dogs' names, and I mean, but anyway, I'm just really pissed the fuck off. It should be really fucking obvious that I'm really pissed the fuck off. But anyway, so I called the cop out, and they're like, well, you think this? And I'm like, well, it's a possibility. I'm like, but I have a neighbor over here that I have a problem with. She doesn't like me. I don't know what her problem is. I don't know what her issue is. And not only that, this and that and this. She's even called the landlord on me when I ain't even been home, claiming that I'm awake making racket, and I ain't even home. Like, she admitted to me that, she's bipolar. I think she's paranoid schizophrenic too. And she has chosen me as her target. Help me the fuck out where the fuck I live. She even had her brother come and harass me at work. Then she even followed my sister to my sister's new job just to shit talk. I don't know what this woman's problem is. I don't know if when maybe I was 5 years old, maybe I bumped into her and I was like, you're mean or you're ugly. And maybe that's all it took. I don't know. Because some people are petty as shit like that. And I know that they are. And I don't remember her from before I ever lived here. I have no idea who the hell she is other than she's my ex-neighbor who has a problem with me. And she still comes to the store that's next door. So it's a highly likely possibility that she would do something like this. But anyways, I called the cop out a long-ass time ago because of the bottles, and he pretty much treated me like I was a stupid idiot for it, just like I called the cops out about shit going missing from my house. One of the cops came out 2 or 3 times. My kid even liked him. She's like, oh, Mom, he was actually... knew my cousin, went to school with one of my cousins or whatever, and he's like, well, write everything that went missing down on a paper in detail. I still got the papers to this damn day. I still got them. As a matter of fact, I still got his fucking card. Missing items. By February 2016, 3 boxes of shells and cheese, 1 from a pack of 3, 2 from another pack of 3. March 2016, dog food is disappearing at a quicker rate. We notice, me and my daughter. Because literally, we came in to feed the fucking dogs, and I was like, didn't I just buy dog? What the fuck? What the fuck? Didn't I just buy dog food? And that's the thing, too, is I have the landlord stating that if somebody's going to come in and steal something, that they're going to come in and steal valuables. Yet, I had her laughing and giggling one time with the maintenance people, talking about how, I pretty much, am white trash is the best way to word it, and that I don't have any valuables. And that's the thing, too, jokes being made because I've sat here and talked to my daughter, and I'm like, we could sell this, and we could sell that, and we could sell this. And I've even talked to my family, we could sell this, we could sell that, because there's antique dolls, there's all this stuff that has been passed down to my kid, and even though it's not highly antique, some of it is pretty fucking decent. It's pretty fucking 20, 25 years old, and shit. And I'm like, we could sell it, and this and that, supposedly, if we had to and everything, but I'm not going to because it's done my daughter's shit. If my daughter wants to sell it, it's hers. It's her possessions, it's hers. It's been hers since she was in my womb, okay? So I'm not going to sell her shit unless she looks at me and she says, yeah, I want to sell my stuff. March 18th, 2016 is when I left my job. that I had at that time, May 2016. I start work at a different job. And then that's where her brother kept coming up there. And we had to ban him from coming up there because he's paranoid schizophrenic or just a drunk, or we don't know. And he kept coming in there. He wouldn't make sense of what he was saying, all kinds of stuff. And as a matter of fact, 2 weeks ago, he was over at McDonald's when I was over there one night, and he come and he sat beside me. Because I'm not going to be rude to him. I'm not going to be mean and hateful to him. But at the same time, he wants to kind of come across threatening. And this is where he came across threatening. He didn't come across threatening at my job. He don't come across threatening in, private or what. I mean, not private, but in public. But one night, my kid and her friend, if I have to, I could get her friend to testify that, yeah, there was a man out in the yard. They go out to walk the dogs. It's like 11:30, 12:30, somewhere around in there at night. Okay, they're having a slumber party. So what if they're up past the curfew a little bit? And they go out to walk the dogs. But because it's late at night, I go and sit on the porch. Well, where my seats and my chairs are, when I sit down and it's dark at night, you can't tell I'm out there, hun. Unless a car goes by and you're looking my direction and the headlights hit me. You can't tell I'm sitting out there. So I'm sitting out there, and I see my child at the edge of the grass area walking our dogs, and I see this man start to approach her. So I'm just sitting there, because he's not approaching her aggressively, but he starts to approach her. And my daughter's friend was actually still on the porch. But when my daughter's friend seen this man approaching, she kind of slowly went outside of the porch and slowly started walking that way. And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, what do I have to defend? And what choice am I going to take, if something goes wrong? What action? It's not going to be pretty, is what I'm thinking in the back of my head. And I'm thinking, go on your merry way, you drunk or high person. Talk about how pretty the dog is or whatever and go on your way. Instead, he starts asking her questions. Well, not only that, my dog Una about bites him. My daughter is taking everything my child has to hold the leash back because she's wanting to bite him because she's feeling a threatening sense from him. So at this moment in time, I stand up and I'm right at the edge of the porch. And he keeps kind of leaning a little bit, talking to my kid. And my kid's still being nice because he's not saying nothing mean. He's not asking any questions that he, it's just civil conversation. Hey, how are you? Your dog's pretty. What you can make of it when he's not all jumbled up in his talking, okay? Because he was jumbled up in his talking even when I was working out at the damn restaurant. And we had to ban him because he kept coming in there asking for free food. And then he come in there, and when we denied him once, he raised hell. And so they called the cops out to get him out of there. So anyways, and this is before I knew that he was related to the neighbor. I only found out he was related to the neighbor because she had a picture of, she's like, oh, my family or whatever, of him up on her Facebook. And the only reason I looked at her Facebook was because after my kid was in the wreck and I was trying to figure out the relation, and if there was a relation between the gray that hit my kid in the car and the gray that is married, that's my ex-friend, that's related to the maintenance people, and the maintenance people are friends. The maintenance people are friends, or were friends, with these people that used to be my neighbor, that hated me, that had the brother coming, and had the woman even went and followed my sister to her new damn job and shit. And then the landlord sits there with the maintenance people, who used to be friends, or whatever, childhood friends with these people, and sits there and, laughs and giggles still and talks about how she misses this woman, that used to live here, but she kicked her out, basically, because she called her a bitch. She called the landlord a bitch, this woman did. So the landlord's like, I've had it. You call me all the time complaining. I've had it. You called me a bitch now. You can get out. You can leave. You can pack your shit and you can get out. But the landlord's like, I really miss her because she used to keep it so clean for me. Oh, it used to be so clean and so pretty for me here. But anyway, so dude approaches my kid or whatever one night, and he's talking to her, and the dog starts barking. Her friend starts to go out there. I stand up on the corner of the porch because I'm just waiting to have to run out there and like shove his ass, in all honesty, and start a fucking fight, you know. And my dog is trying to bite him to a degree, but then again not. But she's lunging at him, you know, not complete aggressive, but just like a warning, like, back off, you know, this is my child, I'm gonna protect her, you know, and I don't know you. And so, I just say to my kid, I'm like, come on in, or something like that, and when I did, he approaches me. Well, this is when the neighbor's son is still living next door, so I'm sandwiched between these people that hate me. So I'm like, come on in, and when I say that, they come on in. And that guy slowly walks over to my porch, and he's like, hey, you know, and I'm like, hey, and he's like, what's your name? Who are you? What's your name? And I'm like, Heather, and he's like, oh, okay, and he's like, yeah, he's like, I was just walking around, I was just wondering, I was just doing this. You look familiar. At this point in time, he's done seen me at my job. Stevie, what are you doing? Stevie Cobain. Stevie. I don't know what he's doing. I hear him scratching at something. Gary, you see him? You see Steve? You just want to go out again. But anyways, fucking hell, I wasn't gonna make this video this long, but whatever, I'll go with it. But and yes, my cat's middle name is Cobain. Okay, I liked Kurt Cobain when I was younger and his music, and it got me through a lot of dysfunction in my family. Okay. That must have been Tiger, because you're right here, Stevie. I didn't even notice you. He's climbing on boxes and sleeping on them. Cats love boxes, don't they? But anyways. So, he comes up to my gate and everything. And as a matter of fact, I stayed up all night because the girls were so scared. But anyway, so he's like, you know, what was your name and all that, and I tell him, and he's like, oh, okay. He's like, you look familiar, and I'm like, mm-hmm. I'm not going to tell him where the fuck I work. I'm not going to confirm it, you know. I'm just like, mm-hmm. Like, and he's like, you know, trying to talk to me, and I'm trying to make sense of him, but I can hardly make any sense of him. And the last thing he says to me is, he says, got a cigarette? And I'm like, no. And I locked my gate right in front of him, you know. Like, to show him, like, you're not coming in here. I don't know you. We're not going to sit and kick it and talk. I don't know you. I have no idea other than you're somebody that comes into the store that got banned from the store. So anyways, I lock my gate right in front of him. He kind of gets the message, you know, but he kind of gets mad, you know, and everything. And he's like, oh, you got a cigarette? And I'm like, no. And I'm like, I don't smoke. And he's like, oh, that's okay. And he's like, well, my nephew, you know my nephew? And I'm like, no, I don't think so. And he's like, oh, he lives in that apartment right next to you. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, yeah, that's my nephew. That's my nephew. Like, and he says it in a way that it comes across as a little threatening. And he's like, yeah, that's my nephew. And he's like, yeah, I wonder if he's got a cigarette. And I'm like, I don't know. He's your nephew. Why don't you go ask him? You know? And he's like, well, will you come? Will you go knock on the door and ask him if he's got a cigarette? Will you go ask him if he's got a cigarette for me? And I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that. And he's like, you're not? And I'm like, no, I'm not. And he's like, you're not, you know. And he like, oh God, you know, I told him no, you know. And I'm like, no, I'm not, you know, I'm not going and asking for a cigarette from him for you or what the hell ever. I'm not, you know. And I didn't say, like, you know, I was like, no, I'm not, you know. And he's like, oh, okay, okay. And then I'm like, what's your name? Because I'm trying to bring it back down to a level of no aggression, because he's showing aggression towards me for as far as I'm concerned. So I'm trying to bring it back down to a level of no aggression. And I'm like, so what's your name? And he's like, I ain't gonna tell you. And I was like, you're not. And he's like, no. He's like, I ain't gonna tell you my name. Why would I tell you my name? I ain't gonna tell you my name. And I'm just like, okay. And I'm like, well, I'm going in. Good night. And I came in, shut the door. Talked to the girls about it. Told them not to go out no more. Not to even go out in the morning without me. That they were not allowed to go out without me for a long time, or whatever. For as far as going and playing here and there, they couldn't, because I don't know who this person is. I don't know if they're going to be a threat. It's the first time I've seen them down here, but I've seen them at my workplace and this and that. And so it's just been fucking hell. But anyways, let's see. So he got banned August 2016. I bought a set of bowls and saucers from Providence. February 2017, after Valentine's Day, 2 of my new bowls purchased on August 16th are missing. April 2017, buy new silverware from Walmart. May 2017, notice new and even old silverware is missing. 13 pieces so far. That's bullshit. June 2017, birth certificates go missing. Ava's cord to her portable DVD player she just got for Christmas 2016, or so she says, because she's a kid. And camera charger cord goes missing around the end of the month. Now, I have 2 cameras, so I'm not even sure, and I don't even remember, and I may have found that. But Ava's portable DVD player cord or whatever, that's her say. The birth certificates did go missing, so has all the other shit. I've not found it anywhere. Marriage license and copy gone from plain sight of the dining room table. Poof, they were gone. And then they were back a few days later. 6 pork chops wrapped separately by 2, 1 pound of bacon, 2 pounds of hamburger meat, all out of the freezer. August 2017. It appears as though someone has come in and got some cat food. Also, there is less toilet paper in the bathroom when we arrive home at 7:30 p.m. on the 20th. He told me to write in detail. I did. He never came and picked up the papers. I called out another officer because some other shit went missing. And then there was the day that I thought that my dictionary went missing, because I have this little dictionary and I write a few little notes in the front of it and everything, and then come to find out it was shoved all the way down into the side of my couch. See, I have no problem admitting when I'm at fault, but damn it, when I'm not. How are you gonna, how's 2 bowls just gonna poof, disappear? How's 13 pieces of silverware just gonna poof, disappear? And better yet, hamburger meat, pork chops. How's it just gonna fucking disappear? I met them in October of 2015 when I first moved in. This is details about them, and not mainly details about them, but just details about my life and when we noticed them, when we seen them, our life here to a degree. It's more in detail. Like, for instance, then my silverware I bought in April with tax money, April tax time, but I filed January or February. I noticed some of the new silverware and old is missing in May, and more in the last month, 13 known pieces as of 8/2017. And then here's some other crap that I wrote. Oh, this is all the, yeah. Okay. Because they told me they was going to get an investigator involved in my case, is what they told me. So I'm like, okay. So this is all the outline of who neighbors are, this and that, and, you know, and all this. And like I said, the doctor that took care of my kid that night has the same last name as the neighbors that have a problem with me. My ex-best friend when I was a kid has the same last name as the woman who wrecked into the car that my kid was in. Nobody came and picked up the papers. And then whenever I called out a different cop, I had to call out a different cop to come and get them. He didn't care to take them. And he's like, oh, you'll have to bring them up. You'll have to bring them up to the office and drop them off. So I'm in the car with my mom like 2 times or 3 times after, and I'm like, shit, you know, and she's like, what? And I'm like, I should have grabbed those damn papers since we're going up towards where the fucking, you know, police station's at. And she's like, why? You know, and I'm like, because of all this shit going on. They told me to write it down. They said they was going to get an investigator involved because it's a bunch of weird shit, or at least I'm seeing it like that. You know, I would love to be disproven. I would love for somebody to come up in this bitch and be like, here's 13 pieces of silverware that's just been up under your furniture for, you know, and it's the same silverware that you bought. It matches your silverware. It's not 13 random pieces of silverware. No, you know. And I would love to. What else was it? Fuck, I can't even. But I would love that. I would love that. I would love to look at a family tree and see that there is no relation between my neighbors that used to live here and the doctor that seen my kid that night after the wreck. I would love to fucking see that. I would love to fucking see the family tree just to see that they're not related. They don't even know each other. They're not blood related on any level. And that they just happen to have the same identical last name. Same goes for the girl and who she married. I would love to see that her husband isn't somehow related to the woman that wrecked and ran into my fucking kid, you know, when my kid was out with her other friend or whatever, that this... Because she was friends with 2 people at the time. Well, 3 actually. One was a neighbor. Well, that was before she moved, so it was kind of in the process. But this kid ended up moving. But she was friends with this one kid. And she actually had a problem with the kid's sister. And then because the kid's sister, and it was a half-sister or what the hell ever, or stepsister or some shit or whatever, had a brother. And so they're not related. And so because my kid's having a problem with this one sister and everything, the brother ends up not liking my kid and all kinds of shit and being mean and all kinds of shit. And I talk about that in my fucking video a little bit. But it's just been hell. It's just been hell living here. And maybe I just see coincidences, you know. Sorry that their last name is this and so is so-and-so's. And sorry that so-and-so's last name is this and so is so-and-so's. But when people keep trying to do shit to me, I feel like I'm being scapegoated by everybody, by the whole damn world. And then my kid gets taken from me because of an incident that happened in October. And she's been taken from me for over a fucking year. And then, I mean, nothing seems to line up. I feel like society hates me as a whole is the best way to word it. Because I go against the grain, which I know that I do. But not in a bad way. But I feel like everybody tries to make it out like it's a bad way. That's even like me sitting here for 2 months and being able to afford my rent when I was able to. Well, guess what? When I filed taxes last year, I held on to that money. Okay? But that money was not going to be enough to get me $60 down to my counselor and $60 back and do that every week. Okay? It wasn't going to be enough. Mathematically speaking, it wasn't going to be enough to do to get my kid back. It wasn't going to be enough to $60 down to fucking parenting classes and back. It wasn't going to be enough. And even though, yeah, I met people and I seen people and I was like, hey, you need me to give you gas money? Hey, you need me to give you gas money? And even EJ, hey, you need me to give you gas money since you took me to the counselor once, twice, 3 times and you brought me down to your house to let me do laundry? Do you need gas money? No, we're good. No, we're good. No, we're good. Yeah, I do today, but no, we're good. We're good. All the other times, we're good. We're good. I literally gave her gas money maybe 2 or 3 times out of all the times that she came and picked me up, hung out with me and stuff. Don't talk to me about, you should have offered gas money to people. That way they'd be willing to take you. It's not that. It's where people want to place their time. It's if they care to put their time into it. And if they don't, then they don't. And that's the thing, is everybody, like I even watched this empowerment video that talks about place your time deliberately. Where do you want to put your time? Where do you want to invest your time? And nobody wants to invest their time into helping me build my life up or helping me get my kid back. Because their lives are falling apart around them. The woman that was taking me originally, she was like, I'm going to see if I can have visitation with my grandchildren. Because her grandchildren went to state. So she's like, while I'm up here, while I'm taking you, I'm going to see if I can, work stuff out with my grandchildren. And then she took me to renew my learners. She did take me to renew my learners one day because we were out and we was done out around that area. And because we went out and she took me out to eat. And I was like, hey, you want to take me just to renew it? I don't have to drive your car or nothing. I just have to renew my learners. I got the money for it, or I think I did, or she might have paid for it. I can't remember in all honesty. But either way, she took me up there, and I think it was on Valentine's Day last year. I do believe it was on Valentine's Day last year. And she took me up there, and I renewed my learners. And so she's like, I'm going to see if I can get visitation with my grandkids and stuff. And it didn't pan out. And she found out she's going to have to hire an attorney and all this just so she can maybe see her grandchildren. And it devastated her. And she was crying in the car, and I was crying in the car, and I was crying because a little bit of me missing my kid, but I was crying mainly because I felt so damn bad for her, because the thing is the grandchildren, their father died a long time ago, and so the grandchildren is all she has left of this one son, and then I knew, this is going to be the damper that just puts the weight on her shoulders for her to just be like, yep, I can't. And so she couldn't. It devastated her. To find out that she's going to have to hire an attorney, and she doesn't have the money to hire an attorney. Just to even find out where the hell her grandbabies are at. Oh, but I'll go ahead and get into talking to my grandmother this morning or whatever. My grandmother's, are you sure you're coming? I was thinking about boarding the pets. Would you be willing, if your dad bought a pen, would you be willing to, and I'm like, no. My dad killed my dog. He antifreeze poisoned some of my cats. No! He's not getting my pets. No. And I say that like that because my family has never understood that when it comes out of my mouth. But no. I don't even want to move in with her. I haven't sat here and been like, yes, I'm going to move back in with my grandmother. Woohoo! And been planning it for months. I haven't even been planning it for a whole month. I've been more like a week being like, yeah, I guess I'm going to because of money. And then I'm like, I'm not even sure. Because I might just go to a homeless shelter, say shit on it, rehome all the pets, and be like, fuck it. But I don't want to do that because I don't want to dismantle everything that my child has known as her home with me. I don't want to get rid of my kids' pets while my kid's not home. I fucking hate that one of our dogs has went missing. And then that's another conspiracy type shit and ass thing, kind of dealing with this shit and all this shit with the fucking last names and the neighbor and the this person and the that. Is that the maintenance people always used to come over and be like, he's such a well-behaved dog. He's so nice. He's so sweet. He's so kind. He's so this. He's so that. Oh, sweet doggy. Sweet doggy. You know? And he don't jump, and he's so kind, and he's so sweet. And then the last time that they come over, whenever, or not last time, time before when they come over and they was fixing the porch, they're like, yeah, did we tell you all 3 of our dogs died? And I'm like, no. And they're like, yeah, all 3 of our dogs died. And I'm like, damn, you know. And I'm thinking, parvo? You know, like. And it's like, no, they're like old age, this and that, this and then that, and grieved itself, or kinda did, or whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then they come to do the water heater. And then I let them have it, is the best way to word it. I don't cuss them out. But I write them, and I'm just like, listen, I've had it. I've had it. You know, I'm like, I've had it. I can't deal with this anymore. I can't deal with the way that y'all behave. I don't know exactly how I word it, but I was just like, I've had it. So don't think that we're friends, because we're not. And I was like, and as a matter of fact, I'm not the only person that thinks that there's something weird, you know, about y'all's situation. But here you go. And that's another thing, too. They've sat out here and joked and laughed and giggled, and the landlord, and about how the landlord can supposedly bat her eyelashes, you know, at the maintenance man to get what she wants whenever he's down here. As long as he's already down here, she could supposedly bat her eyelashes or whatever. I mean, this is the type of shit that I'm having to listen to. And people might think that this is normal talk or whatever, but damn it, when maintenance people come to do their job, I want them to come in, do their job, hush their mouth, you know, or talk amongst themselves, you know, but not so loudly that it's annoying me, you know. Talk amongst themselves if they want to. That's what I was trying to do whenever they come in and did the water heater. I was sitting on my couch and I was trying to mind my own business. I was on my phone. Yeah, I was posting about the floor. Yeah, I was, you know, about laminate and about how I thought it was parquet. And then the landlord smarted off to me and she's like, oh, it's laminate, by the way. And I was like, oh, okay. Facebook, it's laminate floor, by the way. Just got told. But then that's when she come and stood over me and she's like, you know, I guess we're gonna have to work this floor, work a payment plan into your rent, because this floor is just, it's horrible. It's so horrible, and you've really let this place go ever since your daughter got taken from you. You've really let it go. I don't know what's wrong with you. I don't know what's happened to you, but you've really let everything go. And I'm sitting there and my blood is boiling and my heart is just and I feel like I'm fixing to have a fucking stroke. And I feel myself turn red. I feel my blood pressure shoot through the roof. And I'm just like, I'm else gonna die or I don't know what's gonna happen. And that was right before they finished, and then she went away from the edge of the couch, and she talked some more, and they came out, and when they came out, I went and sat out, and as a matter of fact, they were going to leave the water heater box on my porch for me to throw away. But because I was sitting out there, the maintenance people were like, well, I guess we'll take this box and haul it off. I have never met a group of people that are so fucking inclined to them goddamn selves, or what the hell ever, that they think that the judgments that they put on people is what is supposed to hold firm and true, and the judgments that people place upon me is that I'm not supposed to be able to have an apartment and a home for my kid because of my age. I'm not supposed to be able to pay rent and work a job at my age with my kid, and concluding that I've only been working a few years. It's jealousy, it's envy, it's hate, because we were happy. Me and my kid, hell, before people started peering in the goddamn windows all the fucking time and shit, and before the dogs started barking at the windows all the goddamn time because people are outside the fucking windows, because people are walking by, because people are nosy, we didn't give a shit. We didn't have curtains, we didn't have anything up for the, I don't know. We didn't have anything up. And we'd cut on the stereo, and we'd sit here and boot, scoot, and boogie, and dance, and laugh, and giggle, and we'd have a good old time. We'd, like fucking Matilda, the movie, you know, when she moves the furniture back. I'd move the couch, I'd move the coffee table, you know, whenever we did finally get a couch and a coffee table. But even before then, hell, when we moved in, all we had was an air mattress that my dad gave us, that we slept on in the center of the fucking floor. That's all that we had when we first moved in. Now, granted, this entertainment center and the computer desk and the other furniture, like my table and my daughter's chest and chest of drawers and her dresser and her nightstand and her headboard, all that was in storage. And all of our, you know, dishes and shit was in storage, and it took time to get it out. But we didn't have a bed. My grandmother gave us her bed because my bed got ruined whenever the puppies destroyed it. Like, I don't know. I don't know what the hell people's damn problem is. I really don't. Other than they feel happy when they make other people miserable. That's how they find their happiness. Oh, I'm going to make you miserable. Why? Because it makes me happy. Well, don't you think there's something wrong with you if that's the case? I don't go out and be mean and cruel to people and shit talk people because it makes me happy. Even what little bit I've talked about Jen on my fucking videos, I kind of feel bad about it. I kind of feel bad about it, but at the same time, these are my fucking videos. I'm the one trying to figure out how much of a good friend she is and a good influence, and looking past her flaws and her looking past mine, and how much she might be willing to look past, you know, that, I mean, you might as well say I'm a dumbass. I mean, literally, easily put, I come across as a complete and total dumbass to people. I know that I do. I know I come across as uneducated. I know my cognitive skills aren't up there with the highest of people. But I'm not a complete and total fucking moron. It reminds me of a fucking line in the movie, The Coal Miner's Daughter, where she's like in the damn bathroom and he's like, what is it? Something other, you're stupid to her, I think, or whatever, the character, you know, her husband, you know, playing the character. And he's like, you're stupid. And she's like, I may be stupid, but I ain't ignorant. You know, like, that's me. And so that's what you got to put up with to a degree in dealing with me. And Jen has her own faults. And then she, you know, she's like my cousin Misty to a degree. And so she, you know. But I stated in a video before, I was like, unless you're damaged, we're not going to get along. Because if you've never seen that side of darkness, unless you've lived through some shit, seen some shit, we're not going to get along. Jen has seen some shit. Jen has lived through some shit. 2 people, 3 now, 3 have committed suicide that she has known. 1 just within the past few months. And then her kid's dad died. That's some major shit to go through. Not to mention some other stuff with her family from when she was a kid and stuff. She's went through more shit to a degree than I have. More, like, hit hard, right now, traumatic instances or whatever. Where mine were spaced out over my childhood. And so there was a pattern to mine. I could kind of be like, oh God, I'm going to get my ass beat today. Oh, I can feel it. Oh, I ain't even walked in the door from school and I know he's going to grab me. I can just feel it. God, I don't want to go in the house. But I have to go in the house because if I don't go in the house, then he's going to yell at me for not going in the house. Shit. But mine were kind of predictable sometimes. Sometimes. Hers were unpredictable. So she's lived through some shit. But I don't sit here and get a high out of making other people feel like shit. And see, Jen has even been a little bit on that kick, I feel like, to a degree in her life. Is it's like, oh, I'm going to talk shit about this person or that person or whoever, because it makes me feel good, it makes me, it makes you feel good to be like, oh, look at how shitty they're doing, and they're shitty this, and they're shitty that, and shitty, or whatever, or bad. And I mean, she's not that bad at it, and she sure as hell ain't the worst at it, and because hell, the worst is probably the other people that I've had to deal with since I've been living here. But holy fucking shit, man, get the fuck over yourself. Why you gotta talk shit about people to feel good? That's fucked up. There's something wrong with you if you gotta do that. And yeah, I've sat here and been like, you gotta have something wrong with you for me to get along with you. And I might be a walking contradiction, especially to a bunch of dumbasses that don't fucking understand that. But what I'm stating is that you've had to live through some type of trauma to a degree. But then again, everybody has. But the thing is you have to be somebody. See, that's the thing that some people, probably in all honesty, my people that are having issues with me, my neighbors that have had issues with me, and this person and that person, they've lived through trauma, but they're not going to talk about it. Because they got that hoity-toity facade to keep up, if they're great and they're amazing and they're wonderful people. Because supposedly good people don't go through bad things. That's what your brain tells you, especially when you're a kid or especially when you can't dictate or you can't control. So you're like, oh, bad people only go through bad things and good people go through good things. And so my life has been perfect and I have went through nothing bad. But the thing is human nature, everybody's been through something bad. Everybody's been through something traumatic. Everybody's been through something devastating. But I need the people around me that can fucking humble themselves and be like, yeah, I've been through this. Yeah, I've been through that. Yeah, I've been abused. Yeah, I've seen somebody commit suicide. Yeah, I know somebody who's committed suicide. Yeah, I've been held at gunpoint. Yeah, I've had somebody chase me with a fucking knife. Yeah, I've been through this. Yeah, I've been through that. Yeah, I've been threatened by my own parent and told that I was going to get killed. Yeah, I've been through this. Yeah, I've been through that. I need those people in my life. I don't need these little punk-ass bitches who live in fucking society's goddamn stupid-ass standards that are sitting there and they're like, oh, my life has been perfect and I've never had anything wrong. Or they deflect. Because as a matter of fact, my landlord one time, I was talking to her about how her sister had beat on the wall one night. And she's like, and I told her how her sister squinted her eyes looking at me one day whenever I was outside. I was just outside minding my own business. She walked past or whatever and I look up and she's just, I can't even fucking do it. But anyway, she's squinting her eyes at me as she's walking by and I'm just thinking, else say it or don't. You got two choices, like, pick, damn it, pick. Don't sit there and be in the middle and just, stare at me, pick. Say something or don't. So she didn't say anything. She did not, she just stared at me. And so I called the landlord because I was like, hey, I don't know if she's going to beat on the wall again tonight if I make a noise or not. But if she does, I'm going to tell you that she done had a problem apparently with me earlier today from the way that she looked at me. So that way if I call you, in a couple hours and I'm like, hey, she's beating on the wall, and all this, I'm trying to prove to her. And this is the thing that she says to me. She says, Well, yeah, for as far as the squinting and the staring thing, yeah, my sister does that sometimes. And as a matter of fact, the last family party that she was invited to, I had to tell her to go home because she was raising such a fuss. I had to tell her to go home. So she's deflecting like she's perfect and like she's never done anything or said anything wrong, and they're her sister's the damn problem. And I guarantee you this woman has done some stuff wrong in her fucking life. Just like me. I put a belt around my neck in front of my kid, jerked it, and asked my kid if she wanted me to kill myself. I'm not perfect. You have to humble yourself to be in my presence, if you will. Yeah, I'm going to put myself on that goddamn pedestal if I want to, but you have to fucking humble yourself to be around me. You have to admit that you yourself have flaws and you yourself make mistakes. And that's one thing that even Jen, I do believe, is kind of learning. And I am very proud of her. She is humbling herself. I'm very proud of her. I'm actually like, woo! Proud of her. Because what was it? She told me she's going to try to go to counseling. And she can take herself to counseling. She can't take me to counseling. But it's whatever. It's whatever. That's my shit. That's my mess. But she's taking care of herself. And I'm proud of her for it. I'm proud of her noticing. She said, I noticed that I'm this and that and that. She's using these big ass words to describe herself, and I don't know what the fuck they are. I would have to have her repeat them. I'd have to look them up, and then I'd have to be like, oh, yeah, okay. But she's defining her bad characteristics. She's being honest. I love people that can be honest. I fucking adore the shit out of it. I fucking adore the hell out of it. And I'll be damned if we do get to the point that there's a world war or a battle or something, that's who the fuck I'm going to help defend. That's who the hell is going to be back behind me. That's who the hell I'm going to stand in the front of the fucking line for, is the people that are honest. The people that can sit there and be like, yeah, I do this. Yeah, so what? But they don't even have to be cocky about it and be like, yeah, so what? Yeah, I do this. Instead, they can just be like, yeah, I do it. Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, I said this. Yeah, I'm not perfect. And see, that's the one thing that she even kind of smarted off to me a few times or whatever when we was first hanging out and, trying to get to know each other and stuff. And she's like, what was it? Because I'd said it to her. She'd like ask me questions, like 2 or 3 questions, and she's like, what would you, this and that, and I'd be like, well, I'd tell them if people ask, oh God, don't ask me questions. Ask me questions, what is it, telling me no lies or whatever. Don't ask me questions unless you want the truth. You want the truth, you can't handle the truth, okay? I'm that person, you want the truth, you can't handle the truth, but I'll still give it to you. I'll still give it to you, honey. But any fucking way. So I was like, she's like, if somebody said this to you or asked you this, or whatever, and it'd be like somebody that I might, come across as having a problem with, she'd be like, would you tell them? And I'm like, yeah, I would, if they had the balls to ask, or I don't know if that's even the example in all honesty, but that's the only one I can think of right now, and I only got a few minutes left, but I'm like, yeah, I would tell them. I'd tell them flat out. Like, say for instance, the neighbor comes up to me, the ex-neighbor, and she's like, do you have a problem with me? I'd be like, oh yeah, I do. Where you want to start? The beginning? Okay, I met you. I thought we were cool. And then you started hating me. And I don't know why. Yeah, I got a problem with you. And I really got a problem with you when you set a goddamn firecracker off at the back of my fucking daughter walking the damn dogs and about had my kid's arm yanked off. You want me to beat your ass for it now or later? Yeah, I got a problem with you. Don't ask me questions. Don't. Whew. Ooh. And then that's when people be like, no, I don't need, or they'd be like, fine, come on. And I'll be like, I didn't say I was going to hit you first. I didn't say I was going to hit you first. I'm waiting on you to hit me. Come on. Bring it. Let's go. Any fucking way. Damn. Ooh. But I cannot stand people that sit on this high superiority fucking level of shit. And they're like, oh, I'm perfect. And oh, everybody else around me, it's just like what the fuck my family does to me. Oh, my dad don't watch porn. No, he just has a horrible daughter. Right? Oh, my kid don't have a temper. At all. At all. Even though she's my kid and she's Adam's, she don't have a temper at all. Little Miss Perfect. Oh, my mom's not a narcissist. Okay, and she don't care about anything, and she's not a materialistic person. Okay. Well, let me go in there and sell her stuff and be like, this is how you're going to have to pay for your medicine this month. See, if somebody did that to me and they're like, oh, you're going to have to sell your stuff so that way you can pay your rent this month. Granted, I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry because I don't want to tear down the home that I've built for me and my kid. I don't want to get rid of the familiar. I want to have it for my kid because her life has been shit for the most part. And god damn it, if something's going to be stable in her fucking life, it's going to be me. And see, that's the thing. At the end of the day, I'm always her mama. At the end of the day, I'm always going to be the person that I am. Granted, I can grow. Granted, I can sit there and see my faults and say, I'm not going to do that anymore. But everything is habit. So how do you go against that? So eventually you're going to slip up. But the thing is you have to have people around you that are forgiving for when you slip up. But that's the thing, is nobody's forgiving when it comes to me. And then everybody wants me to be forgiving when it comes to them. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, you're fucking retarded. You call me stupid. Have you looked in the mirror? You're retarded. Like, holy fucking shit. But anyways, I gotta hurry and end this here in a minute or whatever. But don't ask me shit if you don't want the answer. But anyways, so Jen would ask me that, so that way she would hear me say. And this is one of my little catchphrases. I'm just being honest. Well, what would you do if they said that was rude, or that was mean, or that was hateful, or that you shouldn't have said that, or, or this or that, or whatever? Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry it hurt your feelings. I'm sorry this, but I was just being honest. And maybe I should never date a woman, because I swear to God, if a woman comes up to me and she says, do I look fat in these jeans? I'm going to be like, no, yeah, kinda. I don't know. I don't like those jeans. They're ugly. Can you put on another pair of jeans? Those are just ugly. I don't like them. Like, you ask my opinion, I will give it. I will give it. If you legitimately can handle it. Now, if I know that you're a pansy ass and you're going to sit there and be like, what do you think of my jeans? Do you think that they're pretty? I'll be like, yeah, they look okay. Yeah, they look good. Yeah, they don't make you look fat, and stuff. But I swear to God, if I'm, and that's the thing, is like men love to get on that high horse or whatever and act like they have no problem being honest. That's one reason that my marriage fell apart. Is because my husband got on that kick with me, and I'm like, oh, okay, we're going to be honest here. We ain't going to worry about nobody's feelings. We're going to be honest up in this house. I was like, okay, we're going to be honest. I was like, you're a dumbass. I was like, you about fucking froze my kid to death on goddamn Easter because you didn't want to cut the heat on, because you were hot. Because what it is he took this entertainment center apart and he put it back together because he couldn't get it out of the room. And I told him ahead of time, I said, okay, when we were moving out, I said, pack the beds last. Instead, as soon as we got the moving truck, he packed the beds first. Not the beds, but our bed. He packed up, that was the first thing he took apart, was our bed. He done had it in his mind, didn't even bother to tell me until a few hours into us packing up shit. And I'm like, why are you putting the bed? And he's like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. That's the response I'm getting. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Because I want to. Don't worry about it. I know what I'm doing. He's going to take us to a motel. He's going to put us out $50 or $60 more for a fucking motel Instead of us just staying there and packing shit and staying out there with the fucking truck. No, we have to lock the truck up. We have to go to the motel room, and this is after, of course, I come home, find my daughter about fucking froze like a goddamn popsicle, get mad at him, lay in the fucking floor, and he comes in there for 45 minutes, and I'm laying there on the goddamn floor drenched still, you know, to a degree, and just wrapped in this clean, dry blanket and gonna go to sleep like that, and he's like, come on, why don't we go to the motel like we talked about, you know, and I'll take, you know, and everything. Yeah. But anyways, that was just a bunch of shit. But you can't ask me to be honest and to throw away sensitivities. You can't sit there and act like some little shithead and be like, we gonna throw sensitivity out the window? And I want your honest opinion. Because I'm vicious. I'm vicious when it comes down to that. Don't ask me to do that. I will never, as long as I live, I will never do that to anybody that is under the age of 18. You get over the age of 18, you come at me like that, we can go. Oh, we can go round and around and around. We can. And you're going to hate me. You're going to wish I was dead. You're going to think that I'm a fucking demon from the depths of hell by the time we get done arguing. Arguing. Not fighting, but arguing. You're going to hate me. That's what happened between me and my husband. I hated him too, because he said some very, very bad, very shitty ass things. But the thing is I sit there and I put up with it, 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 till I just couldn't anymore. And that's what I do in every fucking situation, is I put up with it, and I put up with it, and I put up with it, until I can't put up with it no more. And then I end up leaving. I end up leaving the situation. And that's just like my husband. I even left him, tried to in the marriage. He's the one chased after me. He wanted to get that final little kick, that final little twinge of pain, because he was mad because, I hurt his feelings. I finally hurt his feelings after a year and a half, 2 years of marriage. Finally hurt his feelings. Really hurt his feelings. He really hurt my feelings 6 weeks into our goddamn marriage when he was begging me to have a kid when we had done discussed and said that we wasn't going to. Don't talk to me about hurt feelings. Y'all don't know how goddamn sensitive I am. But I'm going to end it here. I hope everybody's doing good, and I'll catch you later.